Oh my goodness, would you look at your success? You've got the career, the credentials, the commitments, the caffeine habit, the calling that's starting to feel a little heavy, and the cost. Everyone says you're so successful, so why the hell doesn't it feel like it? Today, we're getting real about why success is not the same as happiness and how you can finally have both. Welcome to Burnout-Free Me, your success and well-being podcast. I'm Dr. Amy Grimm, and I am so glad you're here. Let's go from burnout to breakthrough together. Hello, my friend. Welcome to Burnout-Free Me. This is episode number 132. Today, we're tackling one of the sneakiest lies high achievers ever bought into. The idea that success automatically leads to happiness. Now, be honest. Have you ever looked around at your life and thought, wait, how can I feel this exhausted when I've done everything right? You've worked hard, checked the boxes, earned the degrees, climbed the ladder. From the outside, it looks like you're winning. But inside, you're tired. You're anxious, you're drained, and you're wondering when life is finally going to feel as good as you thought it would. Maybe you even question your career choice. Maybe you feel resentment around the life you've created, wish your relationships were better. If any of this sounds familiar, hit the subscribe right now because this is exactly the kind of conversation we have every week here on Burnout-Free Me. And if you're ready, let's dig into why having it all can still feel empty and how to finally have both success and happiness on your terms. So let's start with what is success? Ambitious women often get stuck on this hamster wheel because we believe the idea that success equals happiness. But that's a myth that will just keep you stuck. So, what is success? We toss this word around, success, like a buzzword at a corporate board meeting, which is loud, vague, and completely overused. Success is only meaningful if you define it for yourself. According to most of society, success means achieving your goals, gaining status, making money. In other words, external achievement. You can measure it, post about it, and show it off. But here's the thing. If your definition of success depends on something outside of your control, like your boss's approval, your client's feedback, even your kid's report card, you've built a measuring stick that is rigged against you. Because real success is internal and deliberate, and it's about how you show up, not how many gold stars you collect. So, a fantastic way for you to check in with yourself is to ask, did I act with integrity and compassion? Did I show up as the version of me that I want to be? And did I grow? Because if you can answer yes to those questions, you're successful, regardless of anyone else's scoreboard. Now, happiness, on the other hand, is different. Happiness is not an achievement. It's an emotion. It's that sense of contentment, joy, or even ease that lives in your body, not on your resume. Now, here's the distinction that I love to use in coaching. Success is an external event. Happiness is an internal state. They're not the same thing, and they're created totally differently. You do success and you feel happiness. And the problem is that we've been taught to chase the external outcome in hopes it will magically produce the internal feelings of pride, happiness, and contentment. And spoiler alert, it doesn't. So, why doesn't success create happiness? Just think about it. How many people do you know who have made it and still feel miserable? They've got the title, the house, the partner, and yet they're still restless, still hustling for the next fix of validation. And that's because success doesn't rewire your nervous system for safety or fulfillment. If your body is constantly in go mode, your brain never gets the memo that you're safe or that you've arrived. You just keep grinding, waiting for the next dopamine hit and for someone to tell you that now you can rest. One of the biggest lessons from my work in nervous system regulation is this. You cannot think your way into happiness when your body still believes you're in danger. When your nervous system is calm and grounded, you finally have access to presence, creativity, and joy, the very things that you thought success would give you. Now, there's a mindset shift that can really help change everything. Because most high achievers, we have the equation backwards. We think that we become successful and then I'll be happy. But the science and experience show the opposite. First, I must become happy, and then my success will naturally follow. When you start from happiness, when you manage your mind and regulate your body, you make better decisions. You take cleaner action, and you also recover faster from failure. It's not about being happy all the time. Life is 50-50. Half of life will always be uncomfortable. The goal is to build the emotional range to experience it all without losing yourself in the process. So, how do you redefine success on your own terms? Well, here's a quick 3-step reset that you can try today. Number 1, define it. What does success look like for you right now? Not 10 years ago, not on Instagram, and definitely not what your industry or your parents told you it should be. Write it down like you're describing how it feels to live your version of enough. Maybe for you, success sounds like, I leave work at a reasonable hour and actually enjoy dinner with my family instead of mentally running through my inbox. Or maybe it feels something like waking up without that low-grade dread because I'm finally building something that lights me up. Success doesn't have to be flashy. It can be a sense of peace, a moment of pride, or simply not needing caffeine and anxiety to get through the day. Whatever it is, define it in a way that feels real, not performative. The second step is make it self-referenced. Once you've defined success, make sure you can actually measure it by your actions, not other people's reactions. A self-referenced measure sounds like I followed through on my boundary and I didn't check my email after 7 p.m. I gave my team clear feedback and I handled a hard conversation with compassion. What about I took my lunch break without apologizing for it? These are measurable actions that you can control. Now, what does not count? What doesn't count? Things like your boss's approval, your client's mood, your partner's gratitude, how many likes your post gets. And for fellow medical professionals, a big one is your patient outcomes. Yeah, even your patient outcomes don't truly define your success because they are also out of your control. These are external and unpredictable, and tying your worth to them keeps you forever chasing that next gold star. When your success metrics depend only on you, that is when you stop playing a rigged game. And finally, number 3, celebrate it out loud. Yeah, actually say the words. I did that. I'm successful. Pause for 5 seconds and let yourself feel it. It's not self-indulgent. This is neurological. When you celebrate, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical for motivation and satisfaction. And your nervous system learns that achievement equals safety, not danger, when you celebrate. Without that pause, your body stays in that go mode, bracing for the next demand and never even registering the win. So when you check something off your list, big or small, take a deep breath, smile, even just a little bit, and let yourself have that micro moment of pride. You just taught your brain that success can feel good. And the more you pair accomplishment with safety and joy, the more sustainable your drive becomes. And that's the secret sauce. High performance without self-destruction. Now, what do you do when happiness feels out of reach? Maybe you're thinking, sure, Amy, this is easier said than done. And you're kind of right. Happiness is a skill. It comes from practicing thoughts and behaviors that create safety and satisfaction inside you, even when life is messy. So if you're struggling, try this quick grounding reset. First, just pause and inhale deeply and exhale slowly through your mouth. And while you're doing this, name one thing, anything that's going right in this moment, big or small. That tiny act tells your brain, I'm safe enough to feel good now. And from that place, happiness becomes available again, and from happiness, authentic success follows. You just have to practice this and do it throughout your day. Now, another thing that I'll get asked is, okay, if I can be happy right now, why would I bother striving for more? Now, growth is part of our design. When you feel content and regulated, ambition stops being this desperate scramble for worth and starts being more of a self-expression. So you pursue goals because you want to, not because you have to. And that's what sustainable success looks like. It's this expansion that's fueled by joy, not by exhaustion or by needing to check another box off the list. So the real takeaway here is that success is happiness made visible. Your purpose is not just to achieve, it's to embody, to live, lead, and love from a place that already feels whole. When you manage your mind and support your nervous system, you stop chasing happiness and you start creating it right now, exactly where you are. Okay, my friend, if this episode resonated, make sure you follow or subscribe so that you never miss an honest, science-backed, slightly sassy conversation about burnout, balance, and becoming your favorite version of yourself. And if you want weekly support, strategies, and sanity delivered right to your inbox, join the Burnout-Free Me newsletter. It's designed for high achievers who are ready to stop running on fumes and start living on purpose. You can have both, success and happiness. Both of those things start with you.